I could have gone for a higher paying job, but I did not go for a higher paying job. I went for a lower paying job where I can have more exposure and more experience. After 11th and 12th, I went to Rajasthan Kota, spent 7 days there and literally cried because I could not manage the IIT syllabus. But I had this fear that, hey, I have not studied in 11th and 12th and I already cried studying from IIT for IIT and JEE. And now, if I fail at this, this is over. This is over. In third year, I started my very first blog, which was techtainment.com. It's still live. It started getting decent traffic and we made our very first $1,000 there. I found time to do things, and I used to also travel around 25 kilometers. So 25 kilometers on a public bus, red colored bus. It used to be very crowded, but the whole goal was that, I want to do something different from the people who are in my class. So there was a moment, when I went to Harsh Agarwal's event, right? Harsh Agarwal's event. He came to Banjara Hills and there was an event, and I was like, okay, now I will go to the event. And this is where the whole blogging journey started, and I started from there. And there was a realization, hey, I have an opportunity to do something different, and I don't have money to do that because I used to get 3,500, maximum 4,000 rupees, 4,000, 4,200 sometime from my house. And I used to save in that, and I used to take this government bus pass to to save money. And then basically it went just simply like that. And what happened that there was one moment when I didn't have enough money and I had to purchase this hosting, right? So I got something in my mind which was am I going to waste this money? It was costing me 3,500 for 1 year of hosting, and it came in my mind that, hey, am I going to waste this 3,500 amount? And I used to stay in SR Nagar, which is very near to Ameerpet, very walkable distance. So what I did was, I did what could be the best thing which may happen, what could be the worst thing which may happen, right? And I did this analysis, and this is still one of the best way to define that what can be the best, what could be the worst, and if you want to really spend time, you can also put on average, right? So the best case scenario was that I will start earning 30 lakhs rupees per month, because Harsh Agarwal was earning that. So that was the best case scenario. The average will be that I will make enough money to buy clothes, food, and probably some kind of IT expenses, right? And the worst case was I may end up spending all the money, and even though if I end up spending this money, I will learn how to purchase a domain, I will learn how to configure a server, I will know how to create a website, I will know how to publish blog posts, and I will also know how to write this blog post, right? So all these things were in the worst case, and in the average case it used to be okay, I will make maybe some money out of it, which will be decent enough. So worst case and the best case in a lot of things doesn't happen quite often, right? What you get is average. So in my case, the average result came, which was I made enough money, which was enough to suffice our food and general expenses. We got enough money which was enough to feed us, and then buy laptops. And at the evening, around 4:35 o'clock, we used to come out and we used to sit in a local noodle shop, the one which was giving us more quantity, so one person can we will order just one and then 2 people can get. So we used to do that shit because we had to save money, right? We had to save money, and a lot of things had to happen. So we did that. It was a quite fun moment. And while doing this, what used to happen that we used to sit in library, right? So a lot of faculties used to come there to study. So they have to study to teach, right? So they used to study there and they used to see us, and I was kind of highlighted face in the first year because I had this 99.9% attendance. Also, I used to ask questions when I used to have doubt, unlike other students who were not asking doubts. So I was pretty highlighted. So this gave me decent credibility that, hey, this guy is a good guy. And they used to help me with attendance, and this is what I wanted at the end. So I did not sit in all the classes to match the criteria, but the faculties helped me with our attendance. And then finally, I used to go to events. I used to do this extra work, which used to be called as a startup. And then finally we made till the 4th year. I did not pay any kind of condonation, which used to be a fine if you are not meeting any 75% criteria. So I met all the criteria. I had the 75% and more attendance, and I didn't had any problem, right? So it happened, and it was all cool. So finally, this experience pushed me, the experience of having a startup in the college time pushed me to start a company after exiting the company which I worked after 4 years, right? So it helped me. And then after I quit that job, I had depression, 2 months. You'll always have this question: did I do the correct thing? Did I do the correct thing? Did I do the correct thing? Or did I just cut my leg by quitting my job, right? So you have all this thing. I got a message from CEO as well to join back, but then I was like, no, I'm not joining back. It will be the worst nightmare I can have if I join them back. So that was the thing, so slowly we started. And while we were doing this thing, we started a Canadian website. On Canadian website, I never started Canadian website. So Canadian website started to make some dollars, Canadian dollars, and suddenly it started spiking up because I personally started working after quitting that job, right? Also, other website which we started long ago as an experiment, that also started to work out, because again, now started spending time on those, right? So it's so the bread and butter and the rent which you wanted started to work out here. And then through the money which started rolling in from Canadian website and the Indian website which we created, and slowly it started to do better. And finally we were shaping out well in this scenario. And we also took an office in Secunderabad. Once we took office in Secunderabad, we started to meet a lot of clients, and this is how things went. So now coming back to the topic, time management, right? So as you see here that college people always want your time. They want you to submit assignment on time, they want you to study, they want you to attend classes. But then if you're planning something bigger which is beyond than the college job, right? College job, it might be software engineer job, software associate job, in the worst case customer support job, tech support job. If you want something really beyond, you actually need to think beyond, right? And you don't need to be an IITian to start up, because there is nothing called startups for IITians. There is nothing like that. You can just get started up. And what I see right now is the last 7 years which I spent in doing all these things, starting out, I see the value which I created for myself in 3rd and 4th year. At that time I was not realizing, but when I see it today, it just looks like I created a very good marketing basics and execution system which actually worked. It gave me all the basics, it gave me a platform, and we've made a lot of things happen. Now when I see companies that they spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees on making the same thing happen, and we were doing it without spending those lakhs and lakhs, because we had nothing. We didn't have lakhs, we just wanted to get the result, and we were doing everything to make that happen. So coming back again to the time management thing, well, college will not give you the time. You have to take the time out. You have to take the time out to go to the events. And if you are in 11th and 12th class, then try to choose a college which is actually near to the city, so you can go to this startup events, you can go to this corporate events, and then you can meet a lot of people. Now a lot of faculties will be against this. They will say you that attend your classes, this, that and all, and few faculties will be supportive. That was the scenario in my college at least. So if your end goal is to start up, then you need to do extra activities like going to events, meeting people, finding problems in the industry, and going to hackathons, conducting events, going for sponsorship. And all these activities will help you in improving your communication, your hesitation, and your business skills, which is very, very important to start up. You must have heard about Byju's, you must have heard about Zomato, you must have heard about Zepto, Blinkit. All these companies are often started by IITians. The problem with these companies are they are money losers. The general definition of a business is basically buying for less and selling for higher. But all these companies has been money loser companies. And if you want to be an IITian, it depends on you that which one you want to be. Do you want to be profitable, or you want to be like, a money churner startup? I personally prefer to be a company which can slowly grow and become profitable rather than a money loser company, right? So being in that section is very, very important. Having said that, I still appreciate the knowledge and experience IITs provide, but having said that, it also creates a lot of FOMO among people that if you are from IITs, IIM or higher colleges, then only you will be able to start up. It's nothing like that. If you want to start up, just start up. I'm from a third tier engineering college, and we driven more than 40 million traffic. We grew on a level where students from IITs and students from top MBA colleges approached us, and management from these colleges also approached us in giving internship to their students. But at the end, we realized that a lot of students who are coming from the IITs and IIMs are actually not that efficient. They are not that knowledgeable. I understand that they have a level of IIT, but what I need to understand as a startup, as a business, is which one can make more profit and who can actually do the job. So my analysis so far has been that the people who come from Kolkata are very good English writers. They are very good communicators. People who come from Maharashtra, I'm talking about engineering students, they are decent at engineering, they are good at engineering as well as they are good at communication. People who come from Uttarakhand and UP and Delhi are Delhi people are good at communication, but then Uttarakhand and UP people are not that good at communication, but they get the work done. So they are basically back-end engineer. So full stack engineers basically from Maharashtra, back-end engineers generally from UP and Uttarakhand. Bihar also comes around that, Jharkhand also comes around that, and then when comes West Bengal, content writers are very good from there. Odisha joins West Bengal a little bit, but Odisha people they look to do the things which they can find, so they are not very specific. So this is how my demography analysis has been so far, and my mindset has been around. And that's all. That's all. And we also seen Bangalore is very expensive for startups to hire engineers and all. So we didn't actually hire a lot of engineers. In fact, we had a few, but then we didn't hire a lot of engineers from Bangalore because they have very high expectation, and we as a company had to save money around that. So that's pretty much it, right? So I hope that the video was interesting and it gave you a perspective on how to save time while being in college, and you got to know that how I personally save time. So basically prioritize things considering your goal, and college is not going to help you a lot once you start a startup or once you go in the industry. Maybe till the first job, but from the second job your skill matters a lot, and your skill matters a lot. Only the top MNCs may consider a certificate kind of stuff, but most of the startups and most of the companies actually prefer skill over the certificate. Well, I hope that the video was interesting for you, and then you'll be able to take a few things from it to save time in your college, and then you can start your startup if you feel starting one, right? If you have any question, feel free to put it in the comment section below. I'll be happy to help you out, or someone from the team will be happy to help you out. Bye bye.